Hey guys, what's up? I'm Eve from Down and Dirty, and today we are going to embark on making our own worm composting bins. Why am I doing this with my hands? I'm really excited to do this. It's going to be super fun. I don't really know exactly how it's going to turn out, but we're gonna see what we can do. And today I'm making my composting bin for 25.95. And honestly, for some of you watching, you could do this even cheaper if you want. So what is worm composting? Well, essentially it's just like regular composting. You're going to throw in the organic materials, kitchen scraps, leaves, whatever, but this time we have worms added into the mix. So basically they're going to help expedite the process and create a more nutrient dense result. Science. And some of you might be wondering to yourself, what are the benefits of worm composting? I'm glad you asked. Well, for one, it's going to create a really awesome natural fertilizer for those who are trying to go organic, or maybe they're just trying to kind of kick back on the amount of chemicals that they're using in their garden. This is a great alternative. Worm composting or vermicomposting is also beneficial for regulating your soil's pH, which can play a very large role in your plant's development. Also, this helps with the food waste issue and taking those food scraps from the kitchen that would normally just go to the trash and become waste and utilizing them and giving them new purpose. And another great reason for worm composting is if you are in an apartment and you're just saying to yourself, man, I have no space, I have no backyard, but I want to do something, I want compost. This is great because worm composting is typically odorless if done right. And on top of that, it can be done indoors or outdoors. And from what I've researched, worms are most efficient when they're under room temperature conditions. And of course, the quality of vermicomposting is going to be just a little bit nicer because as those worms consume the organic material, they are going to process it and then release castings, which are worm poop. So yeah, these worm castings are also going to contain gut bacteria from the worms as well as their mucus. It may sound gross, but it's actually really beneficial for your plants and it's going to create a much better end result. And for my final benefit of worm composting, that's most definitely going to have to be that's just fun. Like you literally have a colony of worms at your disposal. I also wanted to mention that this is new for me as well. So we're going to be learning together and going through this process together. And I'm going to go through all the bumps and I'll be your guinea pig. All right? You're welcome. So yeah, enough talking. I'm excited to just make this thing. So let's go. Okay, so we're going to try and make this worm composting setup happen. It was funny, as I was researching into this and trying to figure out exactly what the heck I'm supposed to do, it kind of seemed like there's no one size fits all. I noticed different people take different approaches to composting, whether it be how they layer things or what kind of bedding they use. So I'm just going to kind of make my own little concoction and I'll narrate us through this and here we go. Alrighty, so let's get down to the tools that I used for this project. For one, I had 2 plastic bins, some scraps, which I'll get into later. I had a cardboard box I found on the side of a house, a drill, power drill, some water, soil, and a handy dandy brick. Okay, so now we're just gonna make small incisions throughout our bin. I'm just kidding. We're not gonna use this. I had this joke planned in my head for like a day, and I feel like the presentation's just really bad compared to how I thought it would go. No, we're gonna use a power drill. Do not use a saw at home to drill incisions. So I didn't have any safety glasses, but I knew I should have something on my eyes, so these are gonna do for now, but I highly recommend if you ever use a drill, please wear safety glasses. So what I'm gonna be first doing right now is I am drilling holes into the side of this bin, and essentially this is so that the worms can have oxygen. That's kind of important. So I'm gonna do it all along each side and as well on the bottom, so there can be drainage of any fluids, which I'll get into later. And voila, so that's kind of what my side looks like. I didn't have any particular number of holes I put in there. I just kind of went at it. And I went ahead and got the sides. I don't think it's ultra important to do that, but I really want to make sure they didn't suffocate. Okay, we're finally done with the power drill. Alrighty, so our first base layer is going to be cardboard. That's what the bedding is going to be. There's a bunch of different types of bedding you can use. There's newspaper, black and white, and not the glossy type. Cocoa core, peat moss, straw, hay, office paper, just not dyed white. And then what you want to do is you want to soak it in water so that way you can create a damp, moist environment, because that is what worms really enjoy. Even though you're not supposed to use bleach office paper, I threw in just a little bit because I had some in the shredder and I didn't want to throw it to waste. I just won't make a habit of that. And that right here is the base, so you can see. And this creates air pockets and a dwelling space for the worms. Now time for our dear Tay. I got this from the compost pile, but you can get yours from wherever your heart desires. Just make sure that there's no crazy chemicals or anything. We want to keep it natural for our worms. When it comes to making the soil, red wrigglers, which are the worms we'll be using, they prefer a shallow environment, so we're not going to make this too deep. And of course, again, we're going to be hydrating the soil and thoroughly mixing it in. Now time for another layer of our bedding, which is going to be, again, cardboard. And voila! So yeah, that's the base of it really, or the top. Now on to what we're going to actually feed them. So you can give them fruits, veggies, crushed eggshells, tea bags, grains, animal manure even, and lawn clippings. Oh, and your hair. How crazy is that? But you want to stay away from salty foods, citrus, spicy foods, meat, and dairy. And always make sure you take off any plastics that might be on your vegetation. And voila! I made a little trench and put a little row at the back. So now we have our second brick, and this is basically going to create a little bit of space between the two bins. So A, we can collect our worm tea, and B, we can allow oxygen to flow through it properly. Always close the lid tight so your worms don't escape. Ta-da! We have a worm hotel. You should definitely comment below if you can think of a name for my worm hotel. Okay, so we have our bin, our little worm hotel. And now all we're really missing is the actual worms. So I ordered some. They're coming in tonight, 8 p.m. I cannot wait. I'm glad that this is set up. It's ready. I feel pretty good about it. So now it's just a matter of time. I will check back in with you guys once they get dropped off. Alright, I am super excited. Whew. It is the moment of truth. What world? You can just order worms and have them dropped off at your door. This is gonna be cool. Wow. Oh my gosh, I'm nervous. What if they don't like me? Oh my gosh, they're so precious. I'm so excited. This is amazing. Could I be any more dramatic about getting a bag of worms? I don't know. Look, so I was trying to get the camera set up, and I kid you not, I look over on the counter and these little guys are running around. Little do they know, I'm setting up a resort for them if they can just chillax for 1 second. So yeah, I only bought a 250 count of worms because I know over time they're gonna reproduce on their own, and I'm not in a super big rush to have a crazy amount of worms. I just don't have that need right now. And as for the type of worm, these are red wigglers. You don't want to use earthworms because they actually cannot survive in a compost bin. They will eventually die. So we want to make sure we have a sustaining, beneficial setup. That is so many worms. Oh, dude. I just felt this clump at the end and I was like, what is that? But I know what it is. Thank you again, Uncle Jim. Good old Uncle Jim comes in handy when you need some worms, folks. I just want to make sure I really check the bag out because I don't want to leave any of these guys behind. I feel really bad. Oh, look, see? Got some stragglers there. Yep, just me on a Monday night with my worms. Just chilling in the kitchen. Look at them go. Little composters. Alrighty, well, thank you so much, guys, for joining me on this journey as I tried to navigate the world of worm compost bin making. If you'd like to see a follow-up video where I kind of show how to harvest from your compost bin, let me know. I would love to do that. And if you're thinking to yourself, I would love to see a more intense compost bin, I'm willing to take that on. If you have any questions, please comment below. Also, I will include in the description some of the links that I used when I was researching for this video. They were helpful. There's a lot that goes on with worm composting that I wasn't able to incorporate, but I tried my best to get in the most important aspects of it. And yeah, this was really fun. I enjoyed it, and thanks for watching. Hey, what are you still doing here? What's that? Oh, you wanna subscribe and like? Yeah, totally. All you gotta do is click that red button below. I'm pretty sure it's the red one. And you should be subscribed. Alrighty, well, no problem. Bye.